paperwork time. And today we're carrying on with learning how to tell the time. So I've got this clock with me, and then you should have made this clock yesterday. So you can use this one to help you too. Now everybody should have this sheet today, alright? So, and this again is about telling the time. Now let's look at this first clock. This first clock, the big hand is pointing straight up, so we know it's something o'clock. The little hand is pointing to the 3. Let me do it on here. So we know it says 3 o'clock, right? Now then, oh, what happened? The big hand fell off. So they've just got the little hand on there. So let's have a look. This one, it says it's 11 o'clock. So let's see if we can make 11 o'clock on here. If it's 11 o'clock, the big hand is pointing straight up. The little hand is pointing to the 11, and that makes it 11 o'clock. Uh-oh, they forgot to put in the big hand pointing straight up, so we need to put that in for them. There we are, start at the middle, go straight up. Now it says 11 o'clock. This one, it says 2 o'clock, but uh-oh, they've just got the 2. They forgot the o'clock. How can we make the clock make it say o'clock? The big hand needs to be going straight up. And that says 2 o'clock. Big hand's pointing straight up. The little hand to the 2 is 2 o'clock. Okay, let's have a look at this one. This says it's 10 o'clock. Now it's pointing to the 10, but it hasn't got anything that tells us it's o'clock. How do we know it's o'clock? It's when the big hand is pointing straight up. So we need to put in our big hand pointing straight up. And now we know it is 10 o'clock. Now this one says it's 12 o'clock, but the little hand's pointing to the 12 to tell us it's 12 something, but how do we make it say o'clock? That's right, we're going to put the big hand pointing straight up, and now it says 12 o'clock. Let's do this on this one too. The big hand pointing straight up, and then the little hand is also going to be pointing to the 12. Make it 12 o'clock. And then this one here, oh, the little hand's pointing to the 9, but it says 9 o'clock. How do we make it say o'clock? That's right, the big hand needs to be pointing straight up to make it 9 o'clock. That was good. Now, oh, look at the bottom part. Look what they've messed out this time. Now, this clock there says it's 7 o'clock. The big hand's pointing straight up, says it's something o'clock. The little hand's pointing to the 7 o'clock. Now, this one says it is 1 o'clock. The big hand's pointing straight up, but uh-oh, there's no little hand to tell us it's 1 o'clock. Let's see if we can make 1 o'clock on here. The big hand's pointing straight up, tells us it's something o'clock. And the little hand needs to point to the 1, which tells us it's 1 o'clock. So let's put our little hand in, and that's going to go to the 1 to show us it is 1 o'clock. What time is this one meant to say? This is meant to say 5 o'clock, but all it says is o'clock. How we can make it say 5 o'clock? So the big hand's pointing straight up, tells us something o'clock. The little hand should be pointing to the 5, and that makes it 5 o'clock. So let's put our 5 o'clock in. There's our o'clock, and there's our 5 to make it 5 o'clock. All right, let's have a look down here. Oh, this one says 6 o'clock, but all it's got is o'clock. So let's have a look at our clock. So the big hand is pointing straight up, so it's something o'clock. And the little hand needs to be pointing to the 6. So now it says 6 o'clock. So let's do that on here. Ready? The big hand's in, says o'clock. The little hand's going to point to the 6. Make it 6 o'clock. Oh, what about this one? This one says, if you look and see the numbers are underneath, see it says 4 o'clock. But uh-oh, it's only got o'clock. So we want it to say 4 o'clock. So the big hand points straight up, tells us something o'clock. The little hand points to the 4, and that tells it's 4 o'clock. So pop it in. There we are, 4 o'clock. And then the last one, oh, it says it should be 8 o'clock. So the big hand's pointing straight up, tells us something o'clock. And the little hand is going to point to the 8, and that tells us it's 8 o'clock. So let's put it in on here. Right, big hand's pointing straight up, something o'clock. The little hand's going to point to the 8, so it's 8 o'clock. All right, do you think you can do that? Try your best. Just try your best, okay? And then have a look at the clocks in your house and see if you can tell what o'clock it is. Right? Well, you have a wonderful day.